hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you ready? Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart.
Hey, it's me. Gigi, what are you doing? JJ's having a time right now because normally I sit on that side of the table and normally this plant is not here. So he's confused. I wanted to film this tonight because I have an hour to do so. And I'm still pretty awkward in front of the camera, so I'm just gonna pretend that you and I, we're on a Zoom call right now and I am just having a normal chat. And I apologize that I look extremely yellow. This wall is actually gray. I don't know, it's this light. It's just, everything is yellow, but you know, it's winter in New England, so it got dark at like 4 o'clock today and I did not even get home from work until 6:30. So I had no chance of catching the light today. So we're gonna film this in the dark and we're gonna be yellow. So I often get asked the question recently, why are there so many trees in your house? Why are there so many baby trees growing in your house? Why do you need 3,000 Korean pine trees in your house? Why do you have quail in your spare bedroom? So I thought in this video I would address that today. Yeah, so this is about farming where you are. So it is my life plan, my life goal, however you want to put it, my 5-year plan, whatever, to purchase a large piece of property and become a dirt peasant out in the forest. So we're just kind of working towards it. And I live in a condo. My backyard is extremely small. It's about the size of a king bed. So that is the land I have to work with. It is my intention in 3 years to purchase a large piece of property and be farming, actively farming on an industrial, commercial size scale. So what I'm trying to do in the meantime, because I have this timeline that I know finances and where I will be in life and knowledge base, etc., will kind of, the stars will align in 2024 and I will be able to fulfill this goal that I have had for a long time. So in the meantime, because I'm impatient, I want to try to learn as much as I can before it becomes kind of a life or death scenario. So right now, while I'm living in this tiny condo and I have, you know, a full-time plus job where I'm working 70 hours a week, it's okay if some of my quail die. I mean, it's sad, I don't want it to happen, but I'm not gonna be destitute and out on the streets if some quail die, because it's just a hobby right now. I'm not making money off of that. Versus if I am doing something like that on a commercial scale where I have 5,000 quail and I have the losses on the scale that I had losses with this brood of quail, I would be out of business essentially. My thoughts on kind of farming in place where I am now. I'm not in a place financially or knowledge-wise where I can go out and buy property today. Oh, JJ needs water. Hold on. I hope I'm able to kind of put this together in a way that makes me seem like I'm sentient. Jesus. What do you think, JJ? I don't think I'm doing great. Honestly, I don't think I am. Should I speak in my customer service register? Do you think that would help? It's kind of late in the day for that, you know? I don't want to seem like a lunatic. You know, it's 8 o'clock at night. Let's pretend that we have all the energy in the world. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. And it is currently 7:45. So I'm pretty tired. So sorry if I see low energy. But we are going to get this done, because getting things done is part of the plan. So, why am I doing this? I have this goal where I want to be a farmer. And I said, okay, here is my timeline to where I will financially be able to afford land. Okay? What do I need to do in order to make this financially viable, right? Because it's all well and good to be able to afford land, but then what, right? This is a business and we want to be profitable. So there is a knowledge base that you need. There is, let's say, extra financial goals that I want to reach around that time so that I have a cushion. And you know, you need more than just the land. So part of my plan for what I'm doing here in the condo is I'm spreading out costs over time. So I set out a timeline for myself between now and 2024. What can I do to prepare myself for this? And I basically kind of came up with a couple different things that, oh, maybe we can try this and I want to learn about this, et cetera, et cetera. So part of it is financial. I want to make sure that I have not just the bare minimum needed to buy land. I want to make sure that I have a buffer, because you can't just buy land and then start farming. You need stuff. You need seeds, you need animals, you know, all the accoutrements of farming. Also, there is a knowledge base that you need to have as well, because let's be real here. I am not a farmer. I grow a lot of things. I have some experience with small farm animals, but I am definitely lacking in both practical on-hand skills, practical hands-on skills, but also just base knowledge of various and sundry of the financial tax kind of stuff that goes into having a commercial farm, as well as just like kind of problem solving in terms of like, oh, this plant is whatever, brown, falling over, etc. What are we going to do about that? There's still a lot I need to learn. So the knowledge for me is coming in twofold. One, I am working towards getting my master's, actually a dual master's in sustainable agriculture and sustainable business systems. And that degree will also help me financially, because it will help me qualify for some official farming agro loans. And also, you know, I'm learning on my own. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm making a business plan, a farm plan of like what I need to do. So I'm doing a lot of research independently. I'm doing a lot of experimentation on the small scale that I can do it in. What I'm also trying to do is teach myself some soft skills and routines that will help me just in life in general. So time management, and just kind of managing my health, because I think we can all kind of agree that farming, working outdoors, that kind of thing is very physically taxing. It's physically exhausting. So that's something that I'm kind of working on. You know, one of my jobs is physical, so I'm not a total couch potato, but I can certainly do better. I want to be able to lift really heavy things. I think that'll be a useful skill. So that's something that I'm working on slowly. I'm building up. Part of the financial also is, like I said, I'm spreading out my costs over time. So what I'm trying to establish is a couple drop-in industries that I can kind of just put on land, like they'll be kind of set up already. So the quail is one of those. What I would like to do is get a big enough breeding stock pool here. Don't you start barking. Don't you start barking, sir. I am filming. For the quail, what I would like to do is build up a big enough breeding stock so that when I get my land, I can kind of just drop in these quail and be like, okay, here you are. You're all set. You're ready to kind of make money. I am very interested in doing silvopasture. So I need a ton of trees for that. And even if I am only charged, say, $1 per tree, that is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So any trees that I can get started now that will be 3-4-year-old trees by the time I go to move will be better, because I've just saved myself however much. Because let's be realistic, it's hard to get a tree for $1 even at wholesale prices. So and even if, because I know I'm not unaware of the ramifications of planting fruit trees from seed. I know that they're not going to be true to type, but my idea of it is at least I have rootstock then, and that is helpful. So that kind of covers my why, and that leads us into the what. So the quail, like I said, we are trying to get a kind of base breeding stock down for quail that specifically lay blue eggs. So we have sourced eggs for that. And we are not at the point yet, as of today, which is 11/24. We have not gotten to the point where they are laying eggs yet. But we have seen some beginning signs of puberty, so it should be any day now, I think. Okay, so for the trees, what I'm doing right now, I'm saving seed, I'm ordering seed, I'm planting seed. The pine trees are a 6-month stratification process, so it takes forever. So the more consistently I get it done, the better. However, my seed supplier only has a certain amount of that seed, and I buy them out every year, and then I have to wait until the next year when the crop is harvested again. So for the tree seeds, since I haven't had luck with some of them inside, come spring, half of my garden is going to turn into basically a seeding bed for baby trees, and that is the only thing that's going to be in that area. It's just going to be baby trees. I just have to pick an area that JJ will not run through, because he is a menace and will run through all my plants and destroy them. And then he also likes to pull them up and eat them. So that is a struggle with the small space that I have. The other things I'm working on for the quail, like I said, they're entering puberty now. Once we figure out for sure who are girls and who are boys, so we have them separated by gender, we think right now, because we were getting a lot of humping to the point where people were losing feathers and bleeding. So we separated by gender, we think. But I want to make sure that we're 100% accurate before I start culling, because if our gender determination is accurate, we are about 50-50, and that is not going to work for us with our breeding program. It needs to be closer to probably 75-25, 70-30, boys to girls, or girls to boys rather. So right now we're about 50-50. So some of those boys gotta go, if that is the case. And once that's kind of taken care of, we can put everybody back together in the same level of that cage. Then we'll have a second level free, and I will probably start another set of eggs in January or February, maybe March. But we're gonna do another 24 eggs probably right around that time. Slash if I can fit another couple, if we have eggs that are fertilized at the time and I can fit more in the incubator, which I believe I could if I had them. Just the place that we order them from only will send 24 at a time. So, and the shipping is expensive. So I need to space out my expenses in that. What else are we working on? When the spring comes around, I want to do a big seedling sale for vegetables and fruits, just annuals. I have a ton of saved seed, which you guys have seen on my channel. I've saved a ton of seed. I have so many strawberry seeds. I have so much pepper, so much tomatoes, on top of all the seed that I saved from the year previous. And in my experience, seed, I personally have sprouted seed from 2006 last year. So it really depends on how it's stored. As long as it's dry and it doesn't get too cold or too hot, you're probably okay. Though it does depend on the plant, but the tomatoes and peppers seem to do well for me long-term storage wise. So I'm going to sprout a ton of stuff. I'm going to get another rack or two for down here that are 6 levels each, or maybe 8 levels each, and just start a ton of stuff and have a big sale. They're going to be like $2 and $3 each, because I'm really good at sprouting seed. I'm not good at keeping seed alive. So I think it'll be good practice for me to try to keep this stuff going long term. Plus the kitchen is right there. So I have the kitchen sink right there, and it'll be easier to water everything. And once it gets warm enough, I can just bring the garden hose in from the back door and water all the stuff if it's against this wall here. So I think that'll be fun. And then I'll be able to clear out some of my old seed stocks and kind of keep everything a little bit more current. Yeah, so I'm currently working on the business plan. I don't have a consistent amount of hours or even minutes that I spend on that week to week. It kind of just, it's like when the mood strikes me or when I think of something that I would like to continue researching on. Right now, just note-taking wise, I have about probably 50 something handwritten pages worth of business plan notes. I have not started financials at all. So that will be kind of ongoing throughout the next year. I would like to have a rough draft done by the end of 2022. So the other thing I'm working on this winter, well, there's 2 things I want to work on this winter if I can find a minute, because I am still working. I'm still on my 70-hour-a-week schedule, so it's hard for me to carve out big chunks of time to do things. But I want to do some microgreens again this winter. I did microgreens last winter and it was super fun and I like them. And then all my friends and relatives are happy because they get microgreens from me, because you can't grow just like 2 microgreens. You have to grow a whole tray, and that's too much to eat for one person, because they're best if eaten quickly. Like, they're okay. Some of them last for a while, but they are much better when they're crisp and fresh, like the first 3 days. The other thing, I have a grow tent that I would like to set up in the spare unfinished part of the basement and see if I can grow mushrooms. But what's kind of holding me up on that is the substrate for the mushrooms. It's kind of hard to get a hold of where I currently geographically am. It's hard to get a hold of like undoctored sawdust or undoctored wood chips. It's really hard to get a hold of that stuff. And so that's kind of the hold up for me there. But I think I have a workaround. So stay tuned for that, maybe. But it would be really fun to grow some mushrooms. And that would be a cool skill to have. So I would like to try that if I can get to it this winter. And I think that's kind of what's happening right at the moment. What else? Okay, so what I'm kind of looking on working on in the new year. I have all these projects I want to start. In addition to that, I would like to kind of work on my routines, because I personally find when I am, sticking to my schedule, doing my routines so that I'm not scrambling to find stuff, the house is relatively neat and orderly, and I'm not staying up until 11 o'clock when I have to get up at 3 for work. I am just feeling better in general. I am not sleep deprived and angry, and I can find everything, and it's just better for me, and for everyone around me is also feeling better about things. So I would really like in the new year to try to stick to my routines and timetables a little bit better than I have been, especially the last couple of months. I've been really, really bad about it. I just let time get away from me, and I'm not using the time effectively. I think it's one thing to go off timetable and to spend time relaxing is something that I totally encourage, because sometimes you just can't do it and you have to give yourself grace. Like sometimes I get home and my back is really hurting me and I have to lay down. I have to put a heat pad on or go take a bath or whatever so that I can function the next day. But that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm being like, oh my God, my back hurts so much. And then I sit down on the couch and I just do nothing for the next 6 hours. And then it's midnight and I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my back still hurts. And I haven't eaten and I don't have anything to eat tomorrow. And I haven't showered and the quail still need help or like whatever. So all I'm doing is digging myself into a bigger hole, and it's not helping me and it's not helping anybody else. So I want to stop doing that. It's self-sabotaging, and I don't think that it is a good way for me to spend my time and energy. Oh, okay. So the other thing that I'm going to try to be working on this upcoming spring and summer is, like I said, I have a ton of strawberry seeds. So I am at a friend's house. They have let me have some of the space in their yard very nicely. So we are going to start a big strawberry patch over there, so that is going to be another one of my kind of drop-in industries where I can go the year that we're moving. I can take all these cuttings and take all the runners and then plant all those up, and then wow, I have strawberries that year. So I think that'll be very helpful. Like I said, I have so much strawberry seed. I have probably at least 500 seeds. Not all of those will sprout, obviously, but it's still a lot. I think we're going to have plenty for that project. The other thing I want to do is I want to propagate some blueberry bushes. So I need to find a source for blueberry greenwood come spring so that I can have some just small trays of it. I'm literally going to do like props this big so that I'll have space for it. But like again, it's just a drop-in industry for me, because then I can just be like, okay, blueberry, like here's blueberries for this. And it won't be ready right away because they'll be small, but it'll be something to kind of get going. So if anything that I can drop in that'll be ready this year, or I say this year, that'll be ready the first year we're on farm, or the subsequent 3 years will be very helpful, because it's gonna take a while to get. The thing with silvopasture is, especially when you're starting with bare land or degraded land, is trees take a long time to grow, and there are a lot of work up front with the planting, especially we're looking to get something over 800 acres, so it's going to be a ton of work to get all those plants in the ground. So anything that we can do to kind of give ourselves a leg up and give ourselves a break will be helpful. So I did a little goal timeline between basically the end of the year this year and 2024. So for 2022, the main things I want to work on is I'm just looking to kind of bulk up my financials, as well as I need to apply for my master's program. So I'm just going to be continuing my 70-hour work weeks and working like crazy and doing all my side work. I have about, I don't even know, between YouTube and the couple of other things, I have probably about 10 to 15 hours every week that I spend outside of work working. So I'm just going to continue all that stuff and just work like crazy so that I can have a little buffer between me and life. And I really want to finish my farm plan this coming year. By the end of 2022, I want my farm plan to be mostly done, including financials fleshed out. That will just bring joy to my heart. I am a business-minded person, and I am definitely a planner. like to write things down, as you can see from my copious note taking. So that will just make me happy in my heart to have that kind of set for myself. And you know, I think people are hesitant to write stuff like that down because what if you don't stick to the plan? But it's nice to have a roadmap, even if you don't follow it exactly. Let's say you can take some detours, but you know where you're trying to go. That's for 2022. For 2023, I'm just going to be straight up being a student. It is my intention to finish in a year. Most people take 1.5 to 2 years to finish this program, but I am going to probably be full-time in this. And so since I work 70 hours now, if I quit my second job, I will be working just 40 to 50 hours a week, and I feel like I can just fill those extra hours in with school and just make the swap, and it'll be okay. At this point, I'm fairly used to this schedule. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I am certainly used to it, and so I think I can do it for a little longer, especially with school. It's something that I'm incredibly interested in and motivated about, so it'll be less tedious than going to work. And then by 2024, we're going to be looking for properties. So excuse me while I scratch my upper lip. So we're going to be looking for properties at that point. And so in the next couple of years, we're just going to be trying to set up as many industries as we can, kind of here. And I'm just going to be trying to learn as much as I can, both hands-on and book learning, and get my farm plan set together. And I think that is, you know, it's something, right? So the reason I started this YouTube is I was looking for something. I was looking for somebody else to kind of show me how to do this, and I didn't find what I was looking for. So I was like, I guess I'll do it then. What I'm trying to show is what I'm doing now to reach these goals, and I want to showcase the journey of the evolution of this plan. So I hope this extremely rambly, oh my god, stop! That's very startling. So I hope that this extremely rambly, hour-long sit-down discussion blog thing has been helpful and illuminating to answer the question, why do you have 3,000 trees in your bedroom? Why do you have quail in your house? And the reason the quail are not outside and they're inside is that I live in a condo, so we have an association that says no pets outside. I feel like I probably should have answered that question a long time ago. So hopefully you'll stick with me and you'll be able to see, and hopefully I'll get better at this whole thing, but it's outside of my comfort zone, so we'll see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.